steps for sure,
Yeah.
right? So no, I completely get it, right? And you finished green, which was awesome, right? So and that's really good. I just think that today, you kind of you talked to me a little bit today, and I definitely think it was just about those tight stops, and I'll go into those trades as well. Just like not being able to have the stops in a correct place. And if you guys obviously, if you put if I say, hey, my stop is there, and you're like, Will, I cannot put my stop there because I'll lose too much money, that means you're over leveraging your account, right? And that's a really good insight. So definitely that's why I always say half size initial position, so you guys aren't afraid or aren't scared or aren't worried if we do get stopped, because it's half size. The first initial trade shouldn't be scary or nerve wracking, right? But yeah, anything else you kind of want to talk about or mention, Scarlett, before we dive on in here?
No, just really happy that I was green today, and I'm a little disappointed that I didn't know I was trading on old contracts yesterday, because I know that that's why I missed the trade that we took. Bummer.
For
But you
sure,
learn,
yeah.
I guess
You learn
now that
everything.
I have that alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's why the biggest thing, like, even today, right? You ask, like, hey, how can we update those contract sizes and stuff like that? Like those small things, even though it's not trading, but it's something we have to know. There's always something you're going to learn throughout the months, weeks, months, or even years of trading. I've been doing this for 7 years and I still learn something, right? So you guys are always going to kind of continue adapting and seeing what the market's doing, especially because the market conditions every single year are different, especially with political stuff. Like if we have, even if it doesn't really matter for Democrats or Republicans in here, but let's say we have a Republican next presidency, or we have a Democrat next presidency, or we have a liberal, who knows, or some crazy, I don't know, but whatever, it's going to affect the market. No matter if you guys are pro whatever, there is going to be effects of the market depending upon the political views of America, society. So we have to obviously be very, very aware of that and see how the market affects or reacts based upon world events, based upon political leaders, and so forth. And we always have to adjust that, right? When Obama was president, to when Trump was president, to when Biden was president, and to when Trump's now president again. There's going to be market shifts and market changes just based off of that. We always have to be aware of that. But without further ado, again, let's go ahead and break down the trades we took this morning. We took 3 trades this morning. After I break down the trades, I'm going to break down the updated algo that actually helped me kind of distinguish a little bit more into the setup. And what's really cool and what's really something I want to talk about as well. Again, first, if we have any new students in the house, welcome to the team. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to Scarlett or I. But the biggest thing is when people put indicators on their chart, or when people put like whatever they want on their chart for indicators, it should be based upon your strategy. So think about this: if you put a VWAP on your charts, but you don't even use the VWAP for your strategy, why do you have it on there? Or if you have the MACD or RSI, or exponential moving averages, or the 200, like all these different indicators, if it doesn't correlate to your strategy, why use it? And a lot of people don't realize that when you put indicators or algos or stuff to help you identify your edge, it should be to help, exactly what I said, help you identify your edge. And if it doesn't, it's a waste of space. Remove it, right? Do you guys know I use the VWAP? What do I use the VWAP for? I use it for helping me identify trend in the market. So if the market is bullish, usually it's trading above the VWAP. If the market's bearish, it's usually trading below the VWAP, right? Same thing with the 20 exponential moving average, right? Helps me identify trend. I love identifying trend. That's the first thing we should be doing when we're taking trades, identifying trend, right? And then you guys can see the dotted red line and dotted green line. That's, again, based upon my strategy, key levels, okay? You guys can see the gray dotted lines. Again, trend lines, exactly what I talk about. We have to identify the trend. So again, that's based upon my edge. And the last thing is and these are new, these blue arrows. And these blue arrows, what they do is they actually they actually only go off once volume of a specific candle goes above or below the VWAP. Okay, so you guys can see when market opened, look what happened. My algo went off. We had a blue downtrending candle, which pretty much what that means is when we have at least $100 million candle, at least. It could be more, it could be 300, 400, 500 billion, but it has to be at least $100 million candle. Now, when I say $100 million candle, that means there's $100 million. It could be sellers and buyers just in general being flooded into the market based upon that candle. And what that pretty much tells me, if there's $100 million in a sell side candle breaking into the VWAP, what most likely does that indicate? Selling pressure, right? So if we have key levels, which again, 5-minute time frame, I literally identified this. This is the trade we took this morning. We had a key level right here. So if I see, boom, we have a $100 million candle smacking into the VWAP for bearish. We're breaking a 5-minute key level. We're forming lower lows and lower highs pre-market. How confident should I be in taking that short just like we did today? And that's exactly the trade we took this morning. Again, if you guys like, Will, I want to put this algo on my chart. Again, I am going to be making a video tonight about how you guys can get this arrow into your guys's charting and into your guys's Thinkorswim platform, so you guys can use it alongside me in the future and in the mornings. Okay. But yeah, if we go to a small time frame, here's the 2-minute. This is exactly the trade we took. Okay. Let's actually go to the 1-minute and zoom in here. Now, again, if you see the 1-minute, look how this is very inaccurate, right? Technically these are $100 million candles. But at the same time, it's pre-market. So just because there may be $100 million in this candle, there's not enough volume. And another thing I kind of want to teach you guys is money does not equal volume. Okay. Meaning, oh my gosh, you're saying if it's a $100 million candle, that must be insane. But how much money is in a candle does not signify the volume in the candle. Okay. If we have volume with liquidity, which liquidity, the money in that candle, that's going to work. And that's why I tell you guys, I only trade from 8:30 to 10:30. Okay. So you guys can see this was a $100 million candle, but there was no volume. So this might have been maybe one hedge fund, or it might have been 2 hedge funds, or we don't really know. I don't really know, but there wasn't a ton of people in this candle, right? Barely any. Okay. But you can see on this candle market open, look how this was right before, and this is again on the 1-minute, we can see that look how big this candle is. And again, it's massive. Market's about to open. We're leaning to shorts. If we look at the 5-minute candle, again, I usually use this algo, by the way, on 5-minute. Again, I definitely have, different time frames while I'm trading. You guys might only see the screen like I see, like what you guys see right now. But I have multiple different time frames open. So I usually just have the 5-minute chart open on a different screen with the algo. So when I saw this candle open here at 8:25 and I saw that come in there, I was already looking for shorts. And then here's that key level. And this was my entry, which again, I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. What do we got? I don't use TradingView, but it does change every month or something. Yeah. Again, I know a lot of us, I don't know who in here uses TradingView. Again, if you guys want to use it, it's not bad. It's not the end of the world if you guys decide to use it. But I would recommend getting away from that for a few reasons. One, you have to pay to use TradingView. There's a subscription fee. There's live market fees. Okay. Using TradingView, you spend money. Why do you guys want to spend money? The more money you spend, the less money's in your pocket, right? If we can spend as little money as possible in trading, right? Again, we have to spend money, yeah, of course, but as little money as possible, that helps. Thinkorswim, it's free. You don't pay a penny. The algos that I'm giving you, it's free. You don't pay a penny, right? It doesn't lag. It doesn't falter. It doesn't glitch. It's very easy to read. I love how the charts look on the thing. It's free, right? And everybody, when I say the word free, we all should be like, yay, right? So I highly recommend kind of moving away from TradingView and into Thinkorswim. I have videos on how to get Thinkorswim. I have videos on how to put the first algo, and I'll make a video on the second algo. All right. So let's go back to the 1-minute here, right? What is pre-market before we had this downtrend, right? All last night, what does it look like? Uptrend, 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 absolutely just boom, 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 boom. And then right before market open, what started happening? We started getting a downtrend. We started making those lower lows and lower highs. So I'm like, okay, this is looking pretty good for a potential short. Then market opened. Again, on the 5-minute, I saw that algo, what I just showed you guys, okay? And then I was like, okay, let's wait, though. We don't just want to enter the first candle of market open. Let's wait. Let's be patient. Let's actually get a good entry. We saw that this is a 5-minute key level, and look what happened. This is on the 1-minute time frame. Market opened right here. Boom, super wicky. Second market candle open. Boom, super wicky. Again, 3rd minute of market open. Boom, super wicky. And then I told you guys, and actually my entry was right I believe right here. So I had my half size right here. Okay. And I had my full size right here. Okay. And I'll make that green. So you guys can see, like, Will, how did you know to enter short and half size here? And again, half size, meaning if I'm going in 6 NQ contracts, full size, 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so I went in, well, I actually, no, excuse me, I went in, how many contracts did I go in? I forgot. I think I went in 2 NQs and then 2 NQs. So I think I went in 4 NQs in total because I made 1.9K on this trade, I believe. I have to check back on my stats. But again, why did I know to go here? Well, what's happening? Even though we're being super wiki, this is the highest point in here. This is the market open candle. Did the second candle get higher than the market open candle? No. Did the third candle get higher than the market open candle? No. Did the fourth candle get higher than the market open candle? No. So even though it's wiki, and even though we don't want to take a trade in the wick, I already started seeing that. Okay, so I started seeing pre-markets forming lower lows, lower highs. I saw my algo say that is a high volume plus high money candle. Okay, we are forming those lower lows, lower highs. We have a key level right here. So we had 5 things matched up on the trade we took today, right? Taking short half size, taking full size, absolutely selling all the way down here. Beautiful trade. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Okay, and that was the first trade I took, making 1.9K. All right, second trade, right? Second trade we took. Again, what happened here? We came back up, textbook market, textbook price action, right? We came back up. What happens if a support level gets broken? What should it turn into? A resistance level. What happened? The support level got broken, turned into a resistance level. Okay, and what trade did we took? We took the position shorts right here. Again, what was the problem though in this specific trade? Volume. Look how wiki we're being. We clearly understand the downtrend. We clearly understand that sellers are in control today, right? But again, it was a little wiki. But if I enter my position on this specific candle right here, my stop loss was high of that candle. What happened? We got pretty close to getting stopped out, right? But look what happened. We never did. Then the next candle happened, which just kind of what happened over here. We formed another higher low. We formed another higher low. So then every time we're getting lower and lower and lower, I was moving my stop loss lower, 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 lower. And then after a while, when we fully started breaking this, I'm like, you know what? It's just not falling as aggressive. And this is now reading price action saying, okay, volume is not really pushing to the downside. We're not really getting that continuation to the downside. So you know what? We're finally in profit. I'm up another $500. I'm just going to go ahead and kill it. We killed the trade. That's the second trade. It was green. But a lot of us in here, oh my goodness, wick came all the way up here. We entered here. I'm red, I'm red, I'm red. Yeah. But again, if my game plan is stop loss candle high, did I get stopped out? No. So why should we stop out of our trade? There is no reason to. And if you guys are like, Will, I can't put my stop loss at candle high because I'll be down $700. You're trading too heavy because this was half size position. I didn't go in crazy. So if you guys are going to be down and about to blow your account in one candle wick, you guys are trading way too heavy with what your account is. Okay, does that all make sense in here, guys? Team, is that are you guys following me? W's in chat, or is everybody, is that kind of making sense? If you guys are taking a trade on half size position, and again, we might get stopped out of a trade. It's called following a game plan. And you guys, if we get stopped out, and you guys are in half size, losing half of your account or more than your account, then I don't even know what your full size is. Okay, so there should have been no reason for us to get stopped out there. And then we again, was this the most beautiful, sexiest trade on the second trade? No. But we stayed green. We followed our game plan. We exited the trade based upon price action. All right. Let me clear some of these lines up here. And then the third trade, I told you guys, I'm like, this is looking good because what does a downtrend consist of? All right. Wait, hold on. How many contracts should I trade half size for MNQ or a 25K account? I would say 25K account, you only have 1.5K in drawdown, which is nothing. Okay. So I would say, again, you only need to make 1.5K in profit until you pass. That's it. It's like a 1-to-1. You have 1.5K drawdown. You have to make 1.5K to pass the account. So I would say full size would be 6 MNQ contracts. Okay. Half size, 3 MNQ contracts. Okay. That would be my positioning size if I had a 25K account. All right. If you guys are trading heavier than that, you're probably going to blow it. The NQ symbol does not come up. Can you tell me what's wrong? What do you mean? Backs on what? On TradingView, on Thinkorswim, on TradeAvate? That's Thinkorswim. Are you on the web version, or did you download the application? Did you download the application Thinkorswim, or are you on the web platform on Thinkorswim? Okay. Currently have tops at 50K XFAs, but struggling to figure out how much I should risk it, or if. Okay. So how much? Bro, how much drawdown do you have on those 50Ks? How much drawdown do you have on the, then depending upon how much drawdown you have on the 50Ks will be the answer that I can give you on that. Okay. 2K drawdown. Okay. So I would say half size 4 to 5 MNQs, full size 8 MNQs or 10 MNQs. Okay. That was what I would say, depending upon how you kind of want to manage that risk. Now, again, how much would you be down, right? And we can ask that question again. Let's say our stop loss was right here, right? Okay. And our entry was right here. Okay. How many points is that? That's 62. So about, let's say 11 points. Okay. No, Bax, that's not the downloaded version. That's literally the web version. Yeah, so that's not the downloaded version. You have to download the platform, okay, to use it. Again, I watch the video in the tutorial section. I got you. Yeah, I got you. So that's 11 points. So so one MNQ contract is $2.50 per one NQ. MNQ. Oh, so times 5. That's $12.50 per MNQ per 1 point. So if this was an 12-point stop loss, let's just say, so you do 12 times 12. This would have been a 160-point stop loss right here. 160-point stop loss. That's good risk management, right? Again, if you're in full size and you got the trade in, then you would have been in, what's it called? You made so you're risking 150. And then if you went in full size down here, you would have made like 250 to 300. Good ROR. Okay. On this trade, I think I did add as well. I think I took a screenshot. I did add multiple times once we caught lower and lower and lower. And then I just started trailing my stop loss. So I went in 2, then I went in another 2, and then I went another 2. So I think on this trade, I was in like 6 NQs. Okay. So I initially risked like $500. Then I added more to my position on this trade, but I was controlling moving my stop loss. So it was, even though it was adding risk and adding leverage, I wasn't keeping my stop loss all the way at that high. Okay. And that was the second trade. If you guys don't understand, please ask me and I can re-clarify. How much drawdown should I need to start trading NQ instead of MNQ? I would say at least $5,000 to $8,000 drawdown, and that's still not that much. And I would say you shouldn't be trading more than, like, okay, I'll put it into kind of, if you want to compare it, if you guys are trading personal capital, meaning you put your own money and not trading prop firms, you're putting your own money into the market. I would not recommend trading more than 3 NQ contracts unless you had $10,000 to $11,000 of drawdown. Okay. Now it's personal capital. We're using prop firms. So if you want to do the same as that thing and be safe with it, I would not recommend trading 2 to 3 MNQ contracts unless you have $7,000 to $9,000 of drawdown. Because think of it, 3 NQ contracts, right? 1 point is $20 per 1 NQ. So you do 20 times 3, it's $60 per point on 3 NQs. So in a 12-point stop loss on 3 NQ contracts, you just do 60 times 12, that's a $720 loss on 3 NQs. Is that too much for you? If the answer is yes, we need to start scaling down. Okay, so if you want to put into consideration, I would not start trading NQ unless you have at least $5,000 of drawdown, and that's like still kind of small. Okay, I wouldn't trade more than 5 NQ contracts until you have $15,000 to $20,000 of drawdown. I would not trade 12 to 15 NQ contracts until you have $20,000 to $30,000 of drawdown. Because that's superly crazy high leverage. All right, I hope that kind of answered your question as well. Right, and then let's talk about that last trade we took. The last trade we took this morning together, and I saw it. I was actually done. I was up like 2,000 for the day. I'm like, you know what? This last trade, I'm up $2,000. I'm like, do I really want to take a third trade? And then I was actually gonna walk away from it. And then right when I saw we form another lower high right here, and then I saw volume really just smack into this, I would have on a good trade, I would have wanted to enter down here, right? But you saw, look what happened here. I was like, this is looking super good. I entered short at the break low here. I actually got in right here. Okay, this was the last trade. Okay, I entered shorts right here. Again, where was my stop loss? My stop loss in this case, because I don't want to put it, this is a high stop. I put my stop loss 50% of the overall market, right? 50%. And if I go ahead and see, was this, again, the most sexiest trade? No, it wasn't the most sexiest trade. But there still was a 24,553. I got out right here. That was about a math. 4, 5, 6, 7, like a 9-point move. Okay? It was about a 9-point move right here. Again, I'm just getting in, getting out very quickly because, again, look how wicky we're being. Look how wicky we're being. But I saw that we formed the lower high and volume just really shot down. I just didn't like how choppy we're being. And look at this. If I zoom out a little bit here, look at the rest of the day. After we had that massive move to the downside, the rest of the day in the market, look how choppy we were. We pretty much just traded sideways. After 8:50 pretty much in the morning, which again, we hopped off after like, what, 9-ish? We hopped off, I think we hopped off like 8:45, 8:50. But literally right after 8:50, the market is absolutely just dog crap. Which again is why we have to identify that the market's crap, take what we can make, walk away, and then repeat for tomorrow. Because if you guys say, you know what, I want to trade more throughout the day, trading this is super difficult. It's so difficult. So you're not just getting consolidation, you're getting consolidation with really bad wicks. It's super, super difficult. Okay, so I'm glad we hopped off in the morning. I'm glad we didn't really we finished trading after those 3 trades this morning. So those are the reviews. That's the review of the 3 trades we took this morning. Hope that made sense. I was thinking about getting to 25K account on TPT. How many MNQ contracts should I trade with? Yeah, I just answered who asked that? Mr. Buck. I say half size should be 3 to 4 MNQs. Full size should be 6 to 7 MNQs. Okay, so 3 to 4 MNQs, 6 to 7. Because again, 25K accounts, you only have 1.5K in drawdown. That's it, right? You guys know how fast it can be down to 1.5K. So I would honestly recommend, if you guys are really bad at controlling your risk, you guys are really bad at controlling your risk management, and you're still working on that, I wouldn't really recommend getting 25K accounts because you only got 1.5K in drawdown. If you guys are like super disciplined and crazy risk on, then I would 100% say, okay, cool, get the 25Ks. All right. How do we go about the news tomorrow? Yeah, we got news tomorrow here, team. We got news for sure. The exact time, let me see about tomorrow, like the times and stuff. So, oh my gosh, at 1 p.m. So, yeah, 1 p.m. is going to be absolutely insane. We're probably, obviously, I'm not going to be trading at 1 p.m. If you guys want, who wants to hop on real quick? Who wants to hop on at 1 p.m. tomorrow just to watch the FOMC meeting? And we can just hop on as a team and kind of watch it together. Again, I'm not going to be trading it, but we can at least still hop on and watch what the market does. Who wants to do that? If we get,
I should be able.
Go ahead.
I should be able to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I should be able to.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. 1 p.m. Central, I believe. Hold on. Is it 1 p.m.? Yeah, 1 p.m. Central, so that'll be 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So yeah, we'll do that. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. So tomorrow we'll do the live trading in the morning, the 1 p.m. FOMC meeting, and then the lesson. So we'll hop on 3 times tomorrow together, all right? Gotta be hard for me to resist a trade. Don't. Paper trade, right? I'm not even gonna log into any, just paper trade it, you know? That's where the discipline will come into. Any other questions? Scarlett, want to mention anything else about today? Or are you good?
I do have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So are you saying that a 25K account is harder to trade than like a 100K or 75K?
It's all about, I wouldn't say harder, because some people would be like it might be easier because you only need to pass the accounts, you only need to make 1.5K, which some people make that in a day. So it all depends upon how good you are at managing your risk. If you guys are like, for me, I easily passed the 25K accounts in literally a day or 2 days because my risk is super good, right? Because I'm not going to be losing 1.5K in a single trade, right? But if you guys are really bad at controlling your risk and you still over leveraging your positions and you don't know how to manage that, then yeah, it's hard. And that's why, so it's really not like, is it harder compared to 100K? The only difference between a 25K, a 50K, a 75K, a 100K, and 150K is obviously two things: the amount of contracts you're about to trade, and then the drawdown they give you. Now, the drawdown they give you is only temporary, because once you get funded and once you start building a cushion, eventually in prop firms, guys, you can have a 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80,000 dollar drawdown if that's something you want to do and hold on to those accounts for that long. My biggest drawdown on an account that I got to before I blew it was like 35,000, and then I blew the account because I was being stupid. See, I still blow prop firms. Now, again, the thing is though, it's all about what is your goal? Is your goal to use prop firms to just get quick payouts and fund your personal capital? Is your goal to hold these prop firms for 6 months to a year or even longer? If your goal is to hold the prop firms for 6 months, a year or longer, highly recommend getting the 150Ks, because it gives you 15 NQ contracts that you should not be using until you have a lot of drawdown. And it just gives you the power to hold for a long period of time, so you can build those cushions up. Now, if your goal is to just say, you know what, I want to try to get a payout, maybe a $1,000 or $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 payout, and I don't care about blowing it. And if I just at least pay $300 and I can get payout at least $2,000, cool. I can just buy more accounts in the future and then slowly build my personal account. If that's your goal, then the 25Ks and 50Ks is completely fine. But it's all depending upon what is your goal and what are you guys trying to do, right? Nobody in here should be like, I want to be a full-time prop firm trader. Everybody in here should be like, I want to be a prop firm trader with building my personal capital account. Like this week, I have not traded on personal. Oh, it's only been 2 days, but I have not traded on prop firms this week so far. I've only been trading on personal. Okay, you guys should have both, and that's why it takes time, because you want to build it up. But yeah, go ahead, Scarlett. You have another question?
I was gonna say I can see why that is now, because like prop firms, you're basically working for them as you trade because they take 10, 20%.
Yep, and then you have
So
to
when you
take
trade your own
another
capital,
20% or more for taxes. So technically, let's say you
yeah,
only keep, they say on TPT, right? You get an 80% and they keep 20, right? So then you have to take technically, and then you have to take another 20% for taxes. So technically, you're only pretty much making 60% after everything, which is why, do you really want that forever?
right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah,
I can see that now.
exactly. And that's why our goal is to trade prop firms and then be able to have personal. Like today, these last 2 days, I'm up $6,000 on my personal. I don't have to take 90 or 10. I don't have to give 10% or 20% to prop firms. All I have to do is just pay the tax. And if I have tax write-offs and stuff, I don't have to pay tax on it. Okay, depending upon if I can, my expenses and whatever. Okay, so that's why it's super important to have both. Have both. Will I trade on prop firms for the foreseeable future? Yes. Will I trade on personal forever? Yes. Should you have both? Yes. But at the same time, a lot of people don't have $5, $10, $15, $20,000 to throw into a personal capital account, and that's where prop firms start. You pay a few $100, and then you slowly build up that personal while still kind of enjoying the fruits of your labor by getting those payouts, right? How much we got? What do we got? Yeah, I blew mine today. I had to pay to restart it. Went too hard. Yeah, what you blew, Mr. Buck? What happened, bro? Did you take too many trades today, fam? I hope you didn't. But yeah, definitely realize when there is opportunity and when there isn't, right? It's a quicker way to get funded, like payout, but how long can you hold it before you blow it? I had bought one and blew it. Yeah, that's a good question, man, right? Sometimes it's I don't know why, but I do think it's harder to hold prop firms compared to personal, because personal, it's your money. I don't know how to explain it. It's your money. You're going to treat a personal account 100% different compared to a prop firm. No matter if you have like $30,000 of drawdown in a prop firm account, you're still going to treat that differently than personal. Okay. How much did you start with on your own capital? So I started at 17. I'm 24. I started slowly building my account. I put 1,000 there, put 2,000 there, put 1,000 there. And when I was learning, I would like blow account, or lose that money. But then when I finally became profitable, right? I didn't do this full time until 4 years ago. So for about 2.5 years, almost 3 years, even after my first year being profitable, I still had a full-time job. But what I would do is I would, once I start actually being consistent and making money, I would still every single week and month fund the personal capital account. So for example, let's say for that week, I made $1,000, just for example, on my personal capital, like on profit. What I would do then, if I had the money based upon my other jobs, I would fund another $1,000 into the account. And so I would compound it. And I would do that until I would have maybe $20, $25, $30,000 in the account, to where now I have enough capital in the account to where I don't need to really fund it anymore with personal money. And that's kind of how I grew a $2,000 account after I actually became profitable, because if I wasn't profitable, I'll just blow the money. That's how I grew a $2,000 account. So now today, 7 years later, I keep my account at around $80,000 to $100,000 in my personal capital. Now it does change depending upon if I lose money or if I take a certain amount of money out, but I usually like keeping it between 80 to 100. Maybe my goal for 2026 is to grow to 500,000 and then leave it at around 500,000. But for my comfortability, I don't like keeping my personal capital account more than 100, because it just freaks me out. And I just not able to handle like my P&L go up 1,000, down 2,000, up 5,000, down 4,000. I'm just not there yet with my mental. So I just keep it around there. Okay. What else got? Yep. I have my business. Maybe I can get away with it. Let's go. I was up 200 today, lost it. Greed is ugly. Bro, I know. Psychology, Mr. Buck. Psychology is the biggest thing in trading. Do you only pay taxes for money, whatever money you withdraw? Nope. You pay taxes on, if you hit buy and you hit sell and you make profit, you have to pay it. Okay. And this is personal capital. So let's say, for example, I made $30,000 for the month and I only withdraw $10,000 into my bank account. I still need to pay tax on that 30K because I made it. It's money that I made. Even if it's not withdrawn, it's just sitting in my broker account, I still need to pay tax on it. Now, let's say I made $30,000 for that month, and then next month I lose $35,000, right? I don't pay any taxes. Why? I just gave back all the money I made last month. There's no tax to be made because I lost it, right? So think about that. But if I would, that's why the biggest thing, I leave a lot of money in the account, because I might, if I lose it, then I don't pay tax on it. But if I withdraw it, yeah, then it's 100% has to pay tax, because you're not going to lose it, you're going to spend it. Yep. Think about this. And the government wants to tax your money. So whatever you make, even if it's sitting in an account or if it's not sitting in an account, you have to pay tax. It's stupid, I know, but that's why there's LOCs, and that's why there's ways around it to lower your tax bill, okay? But you know what? The only thing in America that you cannot get away with is death and taxes. You guys know that, right? No Z. You have to do do /NQ, and then it just will pop up to the latest contract date. You'll be fine. So /NQ, and you'll be good. If you trade on a personal account, do you link your bank account or something? How does it work? Yeah, exactly. So you just you can wire money to your personal account. You can link your debit card account, whatever it is. On Tradevate, I think the maximum you could withdraw on a debit account is like 50K. And then obviously on a wire, it's unlimited. Yep. And then click on the first drop down. See how it says NQ E-mini NASDAQ 100 backs? There you go. And hit that and you'll be good. Cool. Any other questions? Are we good? I think we answered a lot of questions. I do think we're going to see for tomorrow, obviously, maybe some consolidation. But I do think for tomorrow, if we break below low of day today at 24,497, I do think we have quite a bit of room to the downside here. If we hold above this and we break above 24,561, we might be able to go back to all-time highs. We will see what happens for tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, we're going to be hopping on 3 times. Live trading, okay? 1 p.m. for FOMC, and then the evening lesson. All right. Do we have a lot of news? No, we don't have a lot, but we have big news. We have FOMC. We got Powell. We got some lot of things that if Powell's gonna say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boom, 600.1 candle. Okay. But other than that, if you guys are new students, welcome to the team. Glad to have you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. Have a beautiful rest of you guys' night. If you guys have any questions about one-on-ones, mentorships, boot camps, Discord, trading, whatever the case is, feel free to just DM me. Okay. The algo is on my Discord, Scarlett. If you just look at the section, it says free algo. Boom. You got both those videos. You'll be inside it. Again, the new algo with the blue arrows, that will be uploaded later this evening. So you guys can put those in your chart as well. Okay. Okay. So if you trade on your own personal funds, you can just wire Tradevate instead of logging into your correct. Because what is Profirm? Profirm is not yours. It's fake money. It's just a business. It's like you're a contractor for a company. Personal, it's like, think of it like a Chase or Capital One or Bank of America. Think of it like that's your bank account. A broker account is like a bank account. Think of it like that. Okay. A prop firm isn't a bank account. You're just trading on fake funds, and then they promise that they'll pay you. That's what a prop firm is. You technically trade on fake money, and then they just say, oh, if you make and follow these rules, we'll just send you money. That's what a prop firm is. Okay? Yeah. Other than that, guys, have a beautiful rest of you guys this Tuesday night. Really, really good lesson. It was recorded, so I will upload the recorded lesson, and I'll upload the new algo as well. But other than that, have a beautiful rest of you guys this Tuesday night. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for some live trading, some more money, and some more bread. Other than that, guys, peace out. Much love, and I'll see every single one of you guys in the AM. Peace, 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 peace.